What is the biggest L you ever took that was caused by yourself? I'll go first. Years ago, I was booked by a music executive to do her makeup for a Buju Banton concert that happened on St. Croix. This is years ago. She ended up loving her makeup and they offered me VIP bands, like free VIP bands to hang out with them at the concert. This was a real big opportunity for me to go and network with real industry people, and I didn't go. Not because I was busy or because I couldn't afford it. It was because I convinced myself that I did not belong there. And today we will be talking about imposter syndrome. That's the little voice in your head that tells you you don't belong, you're not good enough. And that voice doesn't just make you feel small, it makes you act small. It really can cost you big opportunities that you prayed for.
Sip your tea, pull up a chair. Stories from right here, stories from out there. Big dreams, big talk, release your trauma. All up in the mix with Culture Mama. Culture Mama.
Welcome back to the Cultured Mama podcast. This is a place where we share real, unfiltered stories and spark necessary conversations rooted in womanhood and cultural identity. This is your host, Just Quinn, single mom, entrepreneur, author, and proud born and raised Crucian. I got booked by a high-end client. This is a real music executive, okay? I want to say real, I mean like she worked with artists like DJ Khaled and Buju Banton. She actually came with his team. I found this out by going on her Instagram page, right? And this is real industry people, real proximity, real rooms. When the booking came in, I just thought this was a regular person. But in finding out, going on her Instagram and stuff like that, when I figured out who it was, I was like, me? Out of all the makeup artists on St. Croix, she chose me. And during the appointment, she was like casually name dropping all these actors and celebrities that I grew up watching on TV. I really admire these people. I listen to their podcasts. I follow them on social media. She was talking about them like they're regular people. Like, oh yeah, I know her manager. Or, oh yeah, I had dinner with her. You know, I know this person and that person, blah, 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 just like normal. I remember having this surreal moment where it was just kind of like, these aren't mystical beings. They're people, like regular people like me and you. Real insecurities, real problems, imperfect skin, you know, busy schedules. And it was in that moment that it kind of like hit me that I'm a real person just like these people. And if they could exist in these places, then why I can't exist in these places? They probably can. And at least that was a thought that I should have leaned into, right? Well, after I did her makeup, she absolutely loved it. She even gave me a tip. And I remember the whole time I was just under so much pressure, like this have to be perfect. And she ended up loving it. I was thrilled. And the person that she was with actually came out. He was like, did you want to come to the concert? Here's a VIP band. And it wasn't like okay, thank you for doing my makeup, bye, see you. It was like, here, look, a VIP ticket, a VIP band, come have a drink with us, hang out with us. Like, this was my opportunity, okay? And instead of thinking like, okay, this is great, this is wonderful, and I drive home, all I'm thinking is, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I look out of place, I don't have an outfit ready? This is just, I just really psyched myself out, right? And it was a mixed feeling, right? Like, I was excited, I was thrilled that she loved her makeup, but it was like, okay, should I go? What should I do? I went home. I tossed my whole closet trying to find an outfit, and then at one point I just convinced myself that I was too tired to go. I'm too tired. I might crash on the way, like I might fall asleep on the way. Like I am making up so much excuses at this point. And I just know that I wasn't true because I remember I had so much adrenaline pumping, how excited I was that she had loved her makeup on the way home. But the minding up is a really powerful thing. So because I said that I was tired, I was just tired, you know? And that little thing ruin that opportunity for me, right? I don't go. I let my insecurity make that decision for me, and I regret it. I regret it to this day. Probably more than I should, because in my mind I'm like, what if that was my moment? What if that was a thing that pushed my career into the next level, right? What if somebody in the VIP section was like, well, she did your makeup? Do you travel? Would you want to come with me on my tour? Would you want to work with us on this next project? Like, what if that was my moment? And that's the thing about imposter syndrome, right? It doesn't just make you feel small or feel insignificant or less than. It makes you act small. It makes you shrink. decline invitations, you leave early. And I shrunk in the biggest opportunity of my life. I shrunk in the opportunity that I used to fantasize in my head about before I go to sleep at night. Like, I remember being 16 or 17 years old and thinking like, oh my God, I want to be this big makeup artist. I want to be doing Beyonce's makeup. I was in there thinking big, okay? And I really, really wanted to be this big star, this big makeup influencer. I remember being on YouTube for hours, watching people like Aaliyah J, Jackie Aina, like, just to name a few. Like, I just used to be on there. Um, I remember watching Priscilla Ono. If you don't know who Priscilla Ono is, that's Rihanna's makeup artist. Like, I wanted to be in these spaces with these type of people. I finally had this moment for me to shine and show my personality and show who I am. And I tell myself, like, I'm too tired. And it's just too dangerous for me to drive at this time feeling so tired. I was not tired. I had so much adrenaline, but like I said, the mind is a powerful thing. And after that, I just had to sit with the hard truth that nobody invites you to VIP by accident, right? Nobody invites you around their network for no reason. It's because you earned that access. It's because I belong there, but I told myself I didn't. And looking back, what hurt me the most wasn't like, okay, I missed out on this big Buju Banton concert. I missed out on having a good time and looking good. That was not what bothered me. What bothered me the most is that I didn't trust myself in those rooms. And I dropped the ball on something that really could have bring me closer to the career of my dreams. Yes, you guys, that moment taught me that these celebrities or executives, they are just people, and I'm a person just like them, and the only thing that's standing between me being in their position or being in proximity to them is literally just exposure and opportunity. And now that I know this, now that I'm equipped with this knowledge, if opportunity knocks again, I will not be missing it. I will open that door. And I know now that I can network from my little project apartment, right? I couldn't elevate from inside my comfort zone. And I will never be able to expand my reach if I keep shrinking to feel safe. And so, if you're listening, guys, if you've ever felt like the least important person in a room, you're not, unless you let yourself be. Right? If that invitation comes, go. And I'm preaching to myself right now, you guys. Even if your voice sounds a little shaky, and even if your outfit feel a little too simple, and if you feel like maybe you're not ready yet, most of the people we look up to when they talk about their success stories, they will be in these interviews talking about their story and how they came up, and they will be far from perfect or far from ready. And they still did it, and they still made it. They took that leap of faith. And if I'm being honest, that wasn't the only time imposter syndrome showed up in my life, right? It wasn't just that VIP night. There were other people, opportunities, other relationships or friendships. I've had business relationships with people who were successful, organized, sharp, connected, right? The kind of people who seem like they had it all figured out, like they have it together, like they made it. And instead of leaning into that connection or leaning into that friendship, I slowly pulled myself back. And it wasn't intentional, right? It was really small, subtle things. I would start to overthink all my responses, or I would delay replying to text messages, or I would turn down invitations to go places with them. I would kind of, downplay my ideas and convince myself that I didn't have anything valuable to add to the conversations, right? I would sit there thinking, they know more than me. They are more put together. They're ahead. They have more money than I do. And somewhere in my mind, I decided that it meant that I was behind somehow. And instead of growing and rising to the occasions or trying to grow these relationships, I kind of like shrank and cowered away or hid inside myself. And that's the scary thing about self-sabotage is it's not like explosive sometimes. Sometimes you don't notice it right away. It will show up like as a little bit of hesitation, distance, silence, or playing small. And when I look back, I can't help but to wonder, like, how much further would I be if I had been braver or more bold, and trusted myself and my personality, trusted my accomplishments, right? Trusted all of my experience, and trusted that I belong in those rooms that I was literally already in. And this is what I will say. And I need to say this for myself too, right? This ain't a shoulda, coulda, woulda episode. I'm trying not to beat myself up. This is just me trying to recognize a pattern so it doesn't repeat. And, hopefully I could inspire somebody to not make the same mistakes as me. Your past mistakes are lessons, right? It's not a life sentence. And I refuse to let that one bad moment define my present just because it showed up one time. Now, when I feel a sinking feeling or that familiar voice in my head says, okay, you don't fit here. Do you belong here? Do you have the right experience? I have to stop, take a breath, and ask myself, are you just afraid of growing? When somebody is more polished and more knowledgeable, like, I will always try to remind myself that exposure creates confidence, and it's not the other way around. You don't become confident and then enter the room. You enter the room and then you build confidence as you go. Confidence develops, right? And if you ever feel yourself slowly pulling away from an opportunity or a business relationship, friendship, collaboration, pause. Ask yourself what you're really feeling. Is it intuition, or is it just that feeling of insecurity or imposter syndrome? Sometimes it's alignment. You need to stop being afraid of being seen and perceived. Sometimes the very thing that is uncomfortable is the doorway to your next level or to that next big opportunity. Maybe you might be standing on the edge of your own VIP band moment, right? Hopefully you will choose differently than I did. And maybe you go, maybe you speak and you let yourself be seen. You let yourself take up space in these rooms. And maybe that will be the one brave decision that will get you one step closer to the life or the career of your dreams. And to every woman listening who has ever shrunk in a room where she deserved to be, I see you, girl. That was me. You need to stop competing with the version of yourself that is more ready. She don't exist yet, right? She can't exist until you start to cultivate the present version of yourself that feels the fear but walks in anyway. You have to take care of the you in the present so that she won't be afraid to show up in the future, right? Remember, we're not competing, we're cultivating. Stay cultured, stay connected, and I will see you next time.